welcome back to Talking Lead, episode 107. As promised, Spectre is back. What's up, buddy?
Hey, everybody. Yes, we're back again, and once again, thank you for allowing me to co-host the show. Always good to be here. Excellent week in firearms and all that. Really excited to start the show.
Have you had time to do anything with firearms this week?
Well, we did drop on, well, of course, we drop 2 videos a week on YouTube regardless, and we have a Carbon TV episode. But the one that I thought that was the coolest thing we did this week was we actually had the Alexander Arms 50 Beowulf AR-15 in, and we dropped a short video about it on our YouTube channel. That thing is such an awesome time to shoot. It is so badass. Bill Alexander at Alexander Arms is a genius. That man is awesome. He conceived the 50 Beowulf and the 6.5 Grendel cartridges. Just an absolutely amazingly intelligent engineer and a very talented firearms manufacturer. Kudos to him. That thing was peen and steel and the whole 9 yards. Awesome time.
So you guys have that video posted now? Okay, I was going to say, anytime you can shoot anything above a 308, it adds a whole other level to your enjoyment of shooting firearms.
And what's cool about the 50 Beowulf is it actually, the only thing that changes your barrel on the gun. So I think the barrel and the bolt carrier group is what changes in the kit. You use standard AR-15 magazines. They just single stack instead of double stack in that thing. So yeah, it's neat. Well,
what I did is, as our listeners know, I do a little fugitive recovery in my spare time. And I got a call about mid-morning yesterday and just dropped everything and spent the rest of the day kind of doing that. So that was, I guess, the most exciting thing I did since we talked last. It was fun. I really enjoy it. The surveilling, and actually tracking these people down and finding where they're at, that's what I really enjoy the most.
Would you consider yourself an adrenaline junkie?
Yeah. Yeah. So we've got another special guest in with us today, and I'm going to go ahead and let him start talking and see if people might recognize his voice from episode 105. So what did you do this week in guns?
Well, I'll tell you what, we went ahead and deployed down in Charleston. If you looked at the video pretty closely, you'll see a couple of my team members using their KSGs, escorting that individual roof while he was in a courtroom. And our guys are working the security detail on that, and they're all using all bullpup all the time.
I'm actually going to Charleston this weekend.
Great, man.
Not for any of that bullcrap that's going on down there right now. But, yeah, so in case you guys didn't recognize the voice, that is Senior Team Leader Garcia in the house.
Thank you.
Hello, buddy.
Awesome to be here. You guys are amazing.
Well, we appreciate you joining us again. And you've dropped another video here recently on your social media and your YouTube channel, and we've posted it on our Facebook, where you're going to town on that KSG.
We are, so your viewers out there, one of the little trivia questions I have for them is, from 20 feet away, using a KSG shotgun, the first round coming out of my muzzle from a low ready, engaging the target, how fast is my fastest time?
So do they actually have to time that themselves, or is that in the video somewhere?
It's in the video. No, it's in the video. Okay. You'll see the guy, with the video clearly. You'll see the first shot, you'll see the second shot right on top of it from 20 feet away. And our qualification is it's got to be center mass. So none of this bird shot. We use slugs because obviously in our line of work, we don't want to use, double odd buck. We don't want to use anything that sprays and can hit secondary targets.
Restate that question one more time for our listeners. The gauntlet has been thrown down, Leadheads. The new trivia question has been proposed, and the winner is going to receive some cool swag from Senior Team Leader Garcia there from USC SOG. So state that one more time.
I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and give away 2 operator flashlights, 2 knives from Coast, and some of USC SOG Max K9 T-shirts, and everybody knows Max out there.
Max, yeah, the Super K9.
So if they can go to see our video, I shoot 2 rounds from a low ready position using Magnum slugs hit the target center mass. But what is my first shot? You'll see it very clearly on the little timer there when my first shot came out.
And Senior, what's the name of that video?
So actually, I think it's you know what, I don't have it in front of me, dude, because our media team takes care of all this. But if they go to
I'll pull it up.
If they go to our Facebook page, they can. Our Facebook page is STL Joseph Garcia, or just go to USC SOG. That's US space C dash SOG, and you can see the videos there. Or they freaking go to your website, your inspectors. You guys got it.
We've got them posted on our Facebook pages as well. Yeah.
And one of the things that our media guys did, which was really awesome, was that they actually connected the raw videos. They can actually go to YouTube and say, "There's no speed trick here. You know, it's done." Obviously they did it for editing, but the raw stuff is just the raw. There is no editing there, and they can see it. They can see it happening.
And you've got both videos posted now, don't you? You've got the media one that you guys edited and made look all pretty and put music to it, and then you've got just the raw footage there for the naysayers, because I know you've got a lot of people that have been doubting your actual skills.
Yeah, you know what? That's okay, man, because what I'm learning really quickly is that, and if I can just take 2 seconds here with anybody, specifically, you know, that we don't. The only reason why we got on social media is because there have been a number of law enforcement guys that say, dude, you guys should really put this up online so people can see what you guys are doing within the corrections special operations community. I mean, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, nobody really even knew that the corrections special operations community was operating at this level, and we are. And so, you know, I kind of stepped out there first and started doing things, and you know, like with everybody else, I don't know why, and you guys can help me, but everyone wants to relate us to the military or police, and we tell these guys, dude, you can criticize all you want, but unless you do what we do and work behind the walls of the nation's most hardened, vicious criminals, I mean, it's the most violent prison system in the world, the U.S. prison system, and people don't realize every 90 seconds in this country, a corrections officer is being stabbed, injured, and or killed.
And what it comes down to is just it's one of those industries that's not in the forefront of the limelight of people. You know, it's not got that glamour, so not a lot of people are aware of it. And what you guys are doing with your social media and your YouTube and reaching out to shows like us is to get the message out there that you do exist and that this is a high risk, you know, to say the least, profession. Yeah. But you are also high tech.
Yeah, we are, man. We use I mean, people don't realize that we've been using body cameras for quite some time. We've been using special operation canines. I mean, not your typical Malleys or Shepherds, and I love those dogs. But you know, we require a dog with a lot of size. We had certain specifications, and that's why we went to what they call the Rhine Schnauzer. The Americans call it the giant Schnauzer. Mm-hmm. And, so little things like that we've been doing, like running the bullpup system. People can't believe that we've been running the bullpup system we transitioned to the bullpup system, and then you get the, I don't know, is it okay to say computer experts out there? Guys who sit there and surf the stuff or just listen.
Hoorah, Semper Fi, do or die, hold 'em high at 8th and I. It is time for the talking lead jackwagon of the week, so brace yourself, baby.
We call them keyboard jockeys.
Keyboard jockeys, okay. I'm just learning a lot of the social media lingo.
Really, I don't know if that's socially accepted or not. That's what I call them.
You know, really, the biggest thing is when we adopt technology, it has to work for us because our guys work in small we call micro unit operations, and you know, we can respond to an incident, and there's only four or five operators, and there's 250 inmates in one housing unit, man. So you can imagine how violent that environment's going to be, and so. For us, we require a lot of high-end capacity in our weapons. And unlike the streets or the military, you know, you can kill these guys, but with us, we are not mandated to kill them. We're trying to stop the operation, so we use a lot of less lethal. If it gets pretty bad and it's a life and death situation, then obviously we have to do what we need to do.
Right. So, and when you say the bullpup system, you're not only running the KSG, but you're running your rifle systems are bullpup too, right?
Absolutely. Our RDBs, which we're the first in the country to start using, the RFBs we've been using now for going on 3.5 years. There's some video of guys look out there. You'll see videos of our teams deploying with the RFB, the 308 systems in a lot of high-risk transports. And, the bullpup system from our side, and I'll give the listeners here of both sides just a 2-second snapshot of why we use the bullpup.
No, that'll play in good because we talked about SBRs a little bit last week. So, yeah, this will kind of get into that analogy.
So we've gone to the bullpup system primarily because we jump in and out of vehicles a lot for high-risk inmate transport, court security operations. Love the SBRs, but you know as well as I do, we have to go from inside a vehicle, close proximity, like when that motorcade pulls up to a hospital or a courtroom. And, quite frankly, the distance can change with us very quickly. So if an inmate takes off escape, and he's 200 yards out and we got to take him down, or, he's 100 yards out, there's different applications for our bullpup. So when our guys get into a vehicle, we need a weapon that we go on the mandate of economy of time, economy of space, and economy of motion. The bullpup really gives it to us for that. So,
well, I think harkening back to what you guys are talking about our industry being very self-serving and all that sort of stuff. I think that a lot of people will look at, what somebody's doing, especially when they're posting on social media and stuff like that, and apply their situation to your situation. And that does not compute. And that is something that I see a lot in this industry where people, who are just concealed carry permit holders, for instance, or just your average guy will apply their mantra and their philosophy to what you're doing in your everyday job. And they, for some reason, think that qualifies them to speak on behalf of, what you're doing.
To critique what they're doing.
I'm sorry, that was a great point, actually. I never really thought about it like that, but that is an awesome point you just brought up.
And that's kind of what we're trying to combat, and that goes back to the video that Aaron at Sage Dynamics posted, is, take the time to get to know the individual before you start blasting them or critiquing them or downplaying what it is that they're doing or they're using as far as the equipment. Take the time to get in touch with them and ask them why they're doing it that way, why they chose that weapon, why they chose that body armor, whatever it may be. Which that's going to be our topic today. And we're slowly getting into that, but.
Well, one thing I'll add there is that we get a lot of guys who look at us or who kind of text us and go, why is it that you guys are wearing green inside a facility? Are you a bunch of military wannabes? And what they don't realize is this. Back in 1994, we were one of the first units to adopt the green flight suit. And really, it comes down to we're not trying to camouflage. They already know we're there. However, I bet you guys don't think about this. In 94, I did a white paper, and we had an officer or an operator that was injured pretty seriously. He actually almost bled out. And the reason why he almost bled out was that he was wearing a black jumpsuit, black kit, and our medics had no idea where that trauma was at during low light. So what we did was we transitioned to green because inmates use bleach, they use acid, they use feces, they throw it on the operators. We're very visual, so we need to know where trauma's at on our guys. And so I can look clearly across the room. I'll know where that trauma's at on my operator. And then, we all carry the North American Rescue iFlax kit, so we can go right into the triage. Or if there's chemicals on our guys, we can detect it immediately just by we're very visual. So if you watch our videos, you'll see that we use tan body armor, green cry gear. It's because we need to know when we're going in, if we've been contaminated, if there's acid on us, because we do something called POD, man, performance on demand. Whether guys out there like it or not, whether some of these computer jockeys like it or not, we've got to dress the way we do for specific reasons, man. We use the kit for specific reasons. There are no wannabes within our industry.
That's a great example that you give there. Like you said, a lot of people will look at your gear and the color and they think they're high-tech military guys. Well, they didn't take the time to find out the history, and that's great that you pointed that out, of the reasoning behind the coloring. It makes perfect sense now.
No, a lot of people will do that. They will look at, they will judge you based on what you're wearing and automatically once again, going back to what I just said, they apply their logic to your situation without even either doing the research or without even thinking through the thought processes. And the other side of it is how many inmates are wearing green jumpsuits with tan tops. Okay. If you're in a situation where you get separated from your guys, highly unfavorable situation, but much easier to identify a friendly versus a foe.
Yeah. So, all day long, and our dogs, believe it or not, people say dogs are colorblind, but, from a perspective of looking at cameras, surveillance cameras, I know where an operator's at immediately. And there's a lot of other reasons I can't get into on a law enforcement classified, but you just did a bounty hunter surveillance thing. Mm-hmm. And so, guys will...
Fugitive recovery agent.
Well, they could use you up north right now, man.
I'm sure. Hey, if it pays enough, I'll go.
Oh, dude, it's ugly up there. But great points that our people ask us. Well, why do you use those dive lights? The skydivers use. And what they don't realize is we assign one operator green, one operator red, and we match them up. So when on camera, we know what team these guys come from. Green team, red team. We know who took the shot. When that happens. So we're a very visual organization. I mean, there's less than 550 what they call level 1 correction special operations guys, and I'm their senior.
Yeah, every piece of kit that you guys have on there serves a specific particular purpose.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I want to circle back to, and I didn't know this, because this is in the news a lot right now, so we might as well talk about it, is that jack wagon from South Carolina that shot those people in the church, the roof guy. So your team actually has been part of the detail for him, right?
Yep, since they caught him. Absolutely.
Cool. So I'm looking at a post you got on Facebook right now with two of your guys, and they're wearing the AR-500 body armor, looks like.
They're using. We're using. A couple of different. We use a couple of different companies for our body armor, and it's all mission related. So our guys can get out of one set and go into another set of body armors. For example, the new Planix plate carriers that we're running, super light, very thick. And people ask us, well, why is it that you guys use a body armor or plates that have pads on it? What they don't realize is I don't need my guys to get knocked down. The body armor is going to protect people, which in our industry it's called recovery. So if our guy gets hit with a .308 round, if he gets hit with a heavy round, I want him not just to be able to protect him, but not kick him back. Kick him off his feet. I want him to be able to stand up, absorb most of my trauma, so my guys can keep their muzzle where it belongs. That's in the fight. And so you'll see us use different types of body armor, different types of protection levels based on the mission. And for this guy's mission, obviously, internally we need a lot of stab because we're dealing with in the prison environment. Once these guys move externally, you're going to see them run plates, and so depending on the carriers that we're running, and we use like plate carriers from LBT, Landlix, North American Rescue have great body armor, which a lot of people don't realize.
What are you using for stab protection? Can you get into that?
Yeah, so we have we'll use plates for stab protection. There's a new hybrid plate that comes out. It can provide you ballistic, stab, knife, ice pit, taser resistant. And the front and back plates combined weight is less than 3 pounds. Amazing body armor, dude.
Wow,
that's cool.
People ask, what's your opinion on civilians wearing body armor? I've got my opinion, and I don't speak for my department, but I can tell you that body armor on civilians, I have no problem with it. I'd rather deal with somebody. Again, can we all agree that the majority of all these criminals should have a gun? Can we all agree that the majority of crimes that are committed in this country with people with guns are committed with they've acquired that firearms illegally in the first place? For the law-abiding citizen, why shouldn't a law-abiding citizen wear body armor? If you think about it from a cost and a responsible perspective, yeah. If a concealed person is carrying, if you trust him with a gun, why not trust him with body armor? But then
at the same time, you could argue, even if you don't trust them with a gun, why would you prevent them from protecting themselves from someone, the criminals that are, if you're not going to allow me to have the gun, but the criminals are going to get the guns anyway, why would you not allow me to have the most protective kit that I could have.
We're talking about the same, but you have to remember, we're talking about the same people who are issuing ballistic blankets to schools so that children can hide underneath them during school shootings. Okay, we're talking about trying to do something that is so short-sighted and so short-minded that it makes absolutely no sense when you actually get into the specifics of the situation.
You guys can get into body armor, but you remember you can acquire body armor by walking down to your nearest Lowe's or Home Depot and grabbing some plates of steel. I mean, it's barbaric and antiquated, but what's going to stop somebody from doing that? What's going to stop somebody from going overseas and buying some of this, foreign-made body armor? I mean, you can make body armor at home.
And that's the thing. Why would they want to? Their logic behind it makes no sense. Other than the criminals get it.
Right.
That's their whole argument about everything, is that the criminals get the guns, the criminals get the vests. Well, they're going to get those anyway. So why prevent law-abiding citizens that respect and abide by the law from protecting themselves?
Well, I think it's very simple to answer that question. The answer to that question is they're not using logic when they come up with their arguments. They're using emotion.
Absolutely not.
When you use emotion and leave judgment behind, and you leave logic and critical thinking behind, you make idiot decisions.
The politicians are using, like you said, the emotions, and they're doing it for politics. They're doing it for votes. They're doing it to push their agendas, whatever they may be at the time.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the body armor from a law enforcement perspective, and again, I'm not talking about the criminal mind, okay? I'm talking about from the people who are responsible with their Second Amendment rights, doing it, safely, securely, with the highest level of accountability. If a individual's wearing body armor for those exact reasons, for self-protection, okay, I'm good with that. What that, as a law enforcement officer, allows me to deal with is one less casualty. That's why I am kind of lost on this. Why wouldn't you want innocent, law-abiding individuals to have body armor, especially in today's day and age? Forget about our U.S. criminals. What about those who are terrorists, man? Walking into places, doing a Mumbai shooting or what have you. Why not give our citizens the ability of protecting themselves?
Exactly. People know that there's a bill out there. There might be more than one, but H.R. 378, and it may be something else by this time, but this was back in June, is a bill to ban body armor. So this is going to get me into our facts to fight the myth section this week. A lot of people don't think it's legal to own body armor, but yes, civilians can own body armor. I don't think there's any restriction on the level that they can own either, correct?
I don't think you can get dragon skin. I don't think that they'll sell it to you. But other than that, as a civilian, I don't think that there are any current restrictions.
Yeah.
Talk about dragon skin real quick. Tell us what that is. Tell our listeners what that is.
I'll appeal to Senior on that.
Okay.
Yeah. So dragon skin is a type of body armor that is really reserved for military and special ops units. There are what they call ITAR restrictions on certain body armor. So I think everybody, for the most part, you should be careful about taking body armor overseas. But dragon skin is pretty interesting, very very neat technology. Can take a pounding. It was created, and I think that the team is out of Texas that created the dragon skin. They've had a few issues, but dragon skin is it's pretty amazing actually. What I hear.
It's basically interlocking individual plates that can take hits. It's pretty hardcore stuff. I mean, it's
almost like a full body suit. Then I've just Googled it. Yeah, it looks like if you've ever watched Game of Thrones or something like that, and you've seen those dragons, it looks like scales of a dragon. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's why they call it dragon skin. But as far as an example of direct applications to civilian ownership, I'm a civilian. Left hand, you're a civilian.
Last I checked, yeah.
And we use it in some of the productions that we do. Just to be a little bit safer. When we were down there shooting with the ASP guys, artificial shoulder pocket guys in Southern Ohio, we were wearing body armor.
Yeah.
We were running around, at multi-directional shoots, those sorts of things. It's always a good idea to have that extra level of protection.
Well, and let's think about other practical applications that they could be used for. You get a lot of robberies from your liquor store robberies, drugstore robberies, whatever it may be. But why shouldn't those people, because they're at a higher risk of potential harm from a firearm or a knife or an assailant? It makes perfect sense for those type of people to wear that in their line of work too, right?
And another good example of this is actually, I'm not going to name the individual, but or the town that they're in, but one of the pharmacists that I know, they actually have a little bit of a raised platform where their like register and everything is, and that is lined with ballistic protection. I'm not going to divulge the level of ballistic protection, but that individual behind that register is
makes perfect sense.
Has ballistic protection.
Well, look at all the major commerce businesses in this country. The majority of them have ballistic protection. They realize that it's not, nobody's afraid of the law-abiding citizen. Everyone's afraid of those who illegally obtain and abuse their the guns or illegally obtained guns. I think body armor works within the same scales. I know that if I wear body armor off duty and something does happen, I'm not necessarily going to put it on my kids. However, it gives me that opportunity to survive, stay in the fight, and get my kids the hell out of that situation. Can I say hell, by the way?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you can say whatever you want. But, I mean, these are all practical applications. Other practical applications, the media is always putting themselves in harm's way. The cameramen, reporters, and a lot of these reporters that you see in doing the war zone coverage, they're always wearing flak jackets or body armor of some sort. But it makes perfect sense for just our media here in America when they're out in the rough neighborhood subdivisions covering a bank robbery, something like that. Why shouldn't they be wearing? I mean, they're stupid not to wear it. They're perfectly within their legal right to do it. Why wouldn't they?
I was on a video call with someone from InfoWars the other day that was actually headed down to the mess that was where was the most recent riots?
Mogadishu, Baltimore.
Baltimore.
In America, Baltimore. Yeah. Thank you. Yes, Baltimore. He was headed down to Baltimore, and he had his kit with him. He would be wearing body armor while he was down there. That is for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, we could go on and on, especially in our schools. They've got those little drop-in plates that kids can put in their book bags nowadays. Perfectly logical, makes sense. Why wouldn't you want that type of protection?
If you look at our fire and EMS, a lot of those guys are wearing body armor now.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're going into neighborhoods that people who have obtained firearms illegally are now engaging our fire and EMS volunteers and first responders.
Yeah. It all boils down to our Second Amendment and, the firearms, the body armor, and it ultimately protects us from tyranny, whether that's on a social level or whether that's on a governmental level. So you once you take our ability to protect ourselves, defend ourselves, then you've taken away our rights, our freedoms. No, choose security or choose freedom. Is that what it is? Is that how that goes? You can't have them both?
Exactly. You can't have them both. And, when you look at the Second Amendment, you look at the wording, arms, to keep and bear arms. That means everything associated with arms. If you have an AR-15, you need magazines to feed it. That is part of that arm. You need ammunition to feed it. That is part of that arm. That is the sword in the arms. You should also have a shield. And that is why I have multiple sets of body armor for various types of work that I do. And I suggest that you do too, as a responsible citizen. That's my stance on the body armor issue. And to that effect, you should be on the phone with a pen in your hand, writing your congressmen and senators letters about this HR 378, because this is absolutely unacceptable. We have to be on this, because if we aren't, it could go the way of the 7.6 ban. Nobody really was paying attention to the ban on 7.6 for the AK-74. It went through, but if we are vocal and we are paying attention and active, you can see the effects of that, like when they tried to ban the MA-55 round. If we are on these people, they will not get it done, and we have to be on them, or they will take it from you.
Voice your opinion to Congress, to your elected officials. Anything else on that, Senior?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. Well, that's a good lead in to this interview that I had with the guys from AR500 Armor, Tyler and Daniel. And we also had a guest appearance from Todd with Esky Coolers. So listen in on this and see how I tied in coolers and body armor. All right, lead heads, welcome back to the 100th episode of Talking Lead. This is the Artificial Shoulder Pocket sponsored show of the 2015 SHOT Show. And we've got some more guests in the house. We've got Tyler and Daniel with AR500, and we've got Todd with Esky Cooler. So a little different variety of products here, but we'll tie it in somehow, I guarantee it. Guys, how you doing?
Very good. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, thanks for being on, Todd.
Yeah, doing great. Thanks, guys. Appreciate being here.
So 2015 SHOT Show.
This is our second year here.
Your second one? Ours too. So we're kind of on the same path.
Same for us.
Second for you too?
Year we launched Esky Series coolers at last year's SHOT Show, so we've been up for a year now.
Very cool. Very cool. So I know you guys have been working like dogs. Have you had a chance to maybe walk around and look at stuff?
Yeah, I definitely have. I walked the show yesterday. It was quite impressive.
Yeah?
No doubt. The size and scale. I do a fair amount of trade shows each year, and this one
it's massive, isn't it?
Unbelievable, the scale and the innovation and just the energy is pretty impressive.
Yeah. I can't remember how many miles they said of just like booth space it is, but it's several miles of booth space. You know, it's near impossible to see everything.
Yeah, it would be very difficult as a buyer to work the show. I mean, it's hard enough for us to represent the booths, but I think we might have the easier job.
So what's the thing that stood out the most that you've seen here?
I had no idea you could spin an AR in so many different ways. That's
really?
Yes. I've seen more accessories and components and parts and different ways to go after that particular
and
model.
There's more and more coming out every day.
Yes, it's shocking.
It's a very competitive market, no doubt.
Sure is.
Yeah. What about you guys, Tyler, Daniel?
We focus more on the tactical end, but yeah, just seeing all the innovative products, it's amazing to see what people are doing and the new direction gear's heading. You get a kind of a look into the trend and the progression path,
right?
Whatever they used to be. So that's what's exciting for us.
Yeah, cool.
You could easily spend a lot of money buying everything here.
there's not enough money, I don't think, for everything that you'd want here. Now you guys are set up. You got your booth set up. You're showing your armor. People are very familiar with the AR500. You know, you guys are very popular, and we're going to get in and talk about that here in a little bit. And then let's talk with Todd. We've got a little different, kind of product here. We're talking coolers with Todd, and you think firearms, coolers. What's the tie-in? But you got to carry your stuff when you're out in the field. So like hiking, camping, and then you were saying some other uses. We were talking to you guys down there that people use them for too, other than their food storage too. So
yeah, absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about Esky Coolers.
So Esky Coolers is a brand by the Coleman Company. It's Coleman's foray into the super cooler space. They were designed specifically for hardcore outdoorsmen, both hunters, fishermen, and outdoorsmen. They work great on extended trips. So the larger, we offer a 55 quart, an 85, 135, and then a 205. The larger coolers are great for your extended day trips. So if you're going on a 7 to 14 day elk hunt, if you are a rafter and you're going on an expedition, they even work great for gear storage. So
for dry storage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
that's what I was getting at. For the other use.
Yeah, exactly. So
because these things are real airtight.
Exactly. Yep. And they're super durable. So you can padlock them. You can ship them. The military guys and the tactical guys love them because they have a dual function.
Yeah.
They can get the gear there, and then once they get there, they can keep their stuff cold when they're out.
And depending on the weight, these things are pretty buoyant.
Yeah, absolutely, exactly. We're actually in testing right now. Military and industrial and government is a market that we have our eye on. So we're doing new spec testing to understand buoyancy, how much weight they can hold, different things like dropping them out of if they get dropped out of a helicopter or from an airdrop. We're in the process of proving that out.
What I'm seeing would be cool on your coolers. Maybe a special edition. What's the stuff that you guys put over your armor? That
Oh, polyurea is what we use. Yep, it's an elastomer, so it's just a very high strength, UV chemical resistant, watertight coating that can be textured, smooth, and a variety. It can be colored. So,
oh, interesting.
Yeah, that would be something cool that you guys could put over your coolers. Plus, you could add some of the ballistic retardant characteristics to the cooler.
Armored cooler.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, man.
I can definitely
I'm
see
seeing
the
this.
for that.
I'm seeing a bulletproof cooler in the future, man.
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah, that'd be very cool.
Are the wheels turning?
The wheels
here?
are turning.
You've probably already thought of this.
We've done a little bit of testing on. We've shot some coolers up with different caliber arms, with shotguns, with 22s, with 223s, just to see how durable they are, how resilient they are. So yeah, I can definitely see some as we start to move into the tactical space, some opportunity there.
Yeah. So your coolers, you were telling me you've got a process how you put the material in there. I don't know what you call it, but talk a little bit about that.
So the coolers are constructed with a thick wall blow molding technology. So it's a little unique in the market. There's most of the competitors are out there with rotational molding. But with thick wall blow mold technology, it gives us the ability, because the case and the liner are two separate parts, and then we use a urethane foam to provide that great ice retention. But in the production process, with the way the foam and the chemical reaction takes place, it really glues the two pieces together. And then we've designed for that extreme durability, you have a large knuckle integrated hinge with stainless steel pins.
Yeah.
The heavy duty TPE latches with the recess, as well as the padlocks. You get those things locked tight, and they're virtually indestructible.
Yeah, and then you've got like the addition that you did with the cushion on top.
Yep,
I saw that one. That was really cool.
That's one of the new products we're launching at SHOT this year. So the cushions for the three smaller sizes, the 55, 85, and 135. And then we've also started to work with Cryptek camo for our camo.
Yeah,
series.
those are really cool.
That's another new
Yeah.
product. The other new products that we're launching at the show this year.
Yeah, you had the Highland, the Snow Highland,
The Highlander and the Raid patterns. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what
they've
it
been
was.
super popular. I mean, it's crazy how.
And you had like I don't know if it was a one-off or if it maybe like a limited edition.
Yeah,
But you had the
Black Ops.
The Black Ops.
Yeah, so we made a special limited edition series. We serialize all of our coolers so that it helps people ensure that they've got their specific items. It helps with our warranty and different things like that.
Yeah.
But we made 20 in the initial run. We've serialized them 1 through 20, so it's a limited edition.
Yeah.
We're actually raffling 2 of them off at this year's show, and the energy as people walk by the booth and see. Nobody's really ever promoted a black
So
cooler.
what do we do to get into this contest?
All you got to do is I scanned your badge already.
Okay.
All you guys got to do is stop by the booth, get your badge scanned, and we're doing another. We drew one winner last night, and then we're drawing a second winner at the end of the show today. So.
And it's going to be left hand. Left hand's going to be the winner. Did you not get your scan?
You got to stop back by the booth.
Scan her tag. Get Pepper scanned there. Heck yeah. Another thing about your coolers, we were talking about, is they don't have wheels.
Correct.
And you're saying that's by design, right? Because
absolutely.
The feedback that you get from your customers.
Yeah. So wheels are there's a handful of challenges to wheels. One of them is when you're talking about a cooler that's this durable, this heavy, when you fill it with contents, your wheel system has to be able to carry hundreds of pounds, essentially. A wheel system that can carry hundreds of pounds comes with a good amount of weight, and so it adds weight to your cooler when you're not using it, and then it also takes some internal capacity out of the cooler. So I definitely see the need for transport, and we're in development on what that solution looks like. Now
I gave you some ideas.
Yep.
And turns out you'd already been working on that too. So
well, we've got a lot.
So I'm no help to you, man.
No, but I definitely appreciate the input from you guys. It's a going after the tactical and the military and that kind of side is a new foray for us. So it's definitely good to hear you guys' input and understand what you guys are doing even over at AR 500 because it just helps me better understand the market and how we can make a product just function really well for these consumers.
Yeah. So speaking of the guys from AR 500, tell us a little bit about, you guys got several new
products out this year. Really, really cool stuff. So tell us about what you got going on.
So traditionally, we're known for our steel armor. That's kind of where we made our name in the industry. New for this year, though, we've kind of launched into full textile operations. So we have our own plate carrier line. We have a couple different models that we released this year at SHOT Show. And what we try to do is we try to fill certain applications within the market for plate carriers that aren't being done. And we kind of come from a unique approach in the fact that we manufacture body armor. Our core goal with our plate carriers is to make sure that your plates are at the right height and are actually on your body in the right application to maximize protection, which is something some people miss when they make a plate carrier for armor,
right? Because
that's the whole reason you're wearing it. The secondary, it's a load bearing.
You see these people that are wearing it at times, and they get it way too low.
Exactly. Or your back plate's up high.
Heart is exposed.
Right. Or your front plate's up too high and your back plate's way too low, because it's a front and back thing. You can get to your vitals through either side. So that's one thing we focused on when we're
front,
building
back, and sides.
Yeah, front, back, and sides all the way around.
Because you guys do side plates too.
Yeah. Yep. And new for this year is also our soft armor, our 3A soft armor. We're going a few different directions with it, but right now our 3A line is it's an affordable high-end panel. It's using DuPont Kevlar, Honeywell components. We call it a hybrid model. Mm-hmm. It takes a few different components of different technology and just maximizes it to create a lightweight, very cost-effective, and high-performing 3A soft armor panel.
Yeah. So yeah. I'm seeing some coolers with some ballistic retardant principles or qualities going on here.
Wouldn't be that hard, actually. Yeah, I think we could work.
If your coolers are big enough, you could actually maybe even crawl into one of those suckers.
Right. You have to in the right situation.
Have a little bunker right there.
Yeah, if it gets too thick where you're at, absolutely.
Bunker. Right.
Hey, there you go. Mm-hmm. Look, he's already thought of that too.
We were talking about the preparation market. That might be the next evolution. Yeah, who knows?
You just flip the cooler lid up and hide behind it. There's your cover.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys also have another little thing you've got out. I can't remember what you called it, but it was the quick armor.
Oh yeah. So we kind of. It's called our EPC, which is an emergency personal carrier.
EPC, there you go.
And we kind of we took philosophy of something you get on quickly. So we kind of looked at like a life jacket, something you need to put on quick in an emergency situation. So we got rid of H harnesses and shoulder straps and everything, and it's literally just an adjustable loop that goes over your neck and a quick single cobra buckle on the side. Yeah. And the reason we chose cobra buckles,
it's like a chef's apron.
Exactly. Yep. It's on. It takes no time to get it on, and it's versatile. It fits. Not only our armor, but it fits our full line of sizes from 11 by 14 down to an 8 by 10, or any existing armor. And it's budget priced, so it's about $50 retail for a carrier. We have it in a few different colors, from instructor red to just standard black, and we're going to have a wolf gray option. But it's meant to be just very basic.
Yeah. It's modular too. So like you said, the different size of plates that you have, you can adjust it.
Exactly.
Through like a Velcro system, is that what it was?
Yeah, on the inside we just have a flap that lets you put any size plate in it, which is what makes it nice. So if you have a piece of armor, it will fit in that carrier.
So length and width, it'll adjust.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that was really cool. I like that. And then there was another one.
Yeah, the last one is the 8x10 carrier. So it's one of the first smaller carriers out there, especially for us. That's been a big problem, is getting a carrier for our 8x10 plate for smaller frames and getting the protection that they need as well. Mm-hmm. And it has the same MOLLE system, cobra buckles on the sides to get it on quickly, and just easy buckles. It doesn't take necessary side plates at this time. We may integrate that in the future, but the idea is to kind of get this for smaller frame people and getting the protection that they need as well.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most female-friendly carriers out there right now.
Right, and I'm sure that that's the market that you're kind of targeting there.
Right, right.
The females. So that's a great idea, because that's kind of a market that people overlook. They're all going with these big operator type dudes.
Right.
But the women out there, they need it just as much. Now they probably benefit from the larger size. They get more coverage. They're probably not opposed to that. But again, it's about the comfort and the maneuverability and being able to still function.
Right, and that's exactly right. There's a balance to be had. So when you look at rifle plates, you're really covering your heart. That's primary and foremost. So an 8x10 plate on most people gives you adequate protection from that, and you get a better shoulder pocket, more maneuverability. You have a lighter weight system.
He said shoulder pocket. Artificial shoulder pocket. ASP.co just happens to be our sponsor. So.
I was just reading that flyer, and that's what it came from. But there's a lot of benefits to running an 8x10 carrier, even if you're not a small-framed person. If you have existing gear and you want to just run rifle plates over it, it's a lot easier to get an 8x10 carrier over whatever you have on than a large 10x12 or 11x14 or something like an IOTV or some huge carrier with shoulder pads and groin protection. So.
All right. So you had mentioned this earlier. You guys started off with the steel plates, and you're kind of evolving, and you're getting into the different type materials.
Right.
And I may have missed this. You haven't talked about the real lightweight one yet, have you? That you have?
So the lightweight one is a prototype, and that's
is that something we can talk about now?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. I want to talk about it because I really like that.
It's a newer technology in development. We specialize in steel, so it's an alloy plate, but it's using technology called Cryon. It's a carbon nanotube matrix essentially infused into aluminum when it's created and rolled. So it basically creates a high strength ballistic grade aluminum or whatever other alloy you choose to mix the Cryon technology with. So
you hearing this, Tom?
Mm-hmm. It's very
seeing
innovative.
Coolers. Seeing coolers here.
When you mix that with say a titanium strike face and some other components, you have a really lightweight. It's about 4 pounds right now for a level 3 panel,
and it's buoyant.
It's neutrally buoyant.
It floats.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a cool technology we're approaching. We try to stick with steel and alloys because that's what we specialize in.
Yeah.
But it's
you got to evolve.
Yeah, exactly.
As the technology is there, you guys are evolving with it. Yeah.
The trick is making it cost effective. So you can come out with a lightweight plate, but we don't want to have a $2,000 plate either.
I don't want you to either.
Right. So we're working on it, but I'd say keep checking back, and as we develop, we'll release new things in that area.
All right, so I told you that I would tie this show in coolers and body armor. We're going to see some ballistic grade coolers in the future, I think, from this little meeting here. But there's some other things that your coolers have benefits of that we need to touch on too, Todd, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Ice retention, or how long a cooler will hold ice, is really what makes the Esky series different and unique in the space.
Because these are heavy duty coolers. These aren't just taking it to the ballpark kind of thing.
Yeah.
These are meant for the outdoor guy that's going to be in the woods for days.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're that guy that's maybe you're on an elk hunt and it's a multi-day or even multi-week, and you get your kill on early in the trip, you got to make sure that it's good and it makes it through the end. Or if you have a lot of guys will drive several days to get to their location, and they got to make sure that they get it home. So, Esky series coolers will hold ice up to 44% longer than our nearest competitor. There's several design elements that kind of drive that. It helps when you're the Coleman Company. We've been making coolers for 60 years. We have a very sophisticated lab and development operation in Wichita, Kansas, where we do all of our development, and that has helped us inform.
Or Wichita, as I call it.
Wichita, yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Wichita, Kansas.
So, which, that kind of segues into the Made in the USA theme, which is a huge thing
America.
For us. And all of our coolers are 100% made in the USA, along with our accessories, even the seat cushions. We have a facility where we make life jackets through the Stearns brand, where we develop the seat cushions. So we have our line is 100% made in the USA.
Very cool. And Coleman's been around forever.
Coleman's been around since 1900.
Yeah.
Its first product was a lantern. Or actually, I take that back. Its first product was a small portable stove for guys in World War I. Mm-hmm. And that segued into stoves and lanterns for the guys in World War II.
Right.
And then we started making coolers in 1954. All 100% made in the USA.
But you guys do sleeping bags and tents and just you name it.
Yeah,
man.
A little bit of everything. We've got a huge business in industrial flotation under the Stearns brand. So we make tents, sleeping bags, shelters, rainwear, cooler, all different types of coolers. We've
anything and everything for your outdoor
for the outdoor
needs.
use, exactly.
Yeah. That is cool. Now, tell us a little bit about your background. You're an engineer, right?
Well, I actually came out of the home improvement space. So I started on that side in.
So you're on the Tim Allen Show?
Yeah, no, it should have been though.
You're a movie star.
Came up through the retail side, and then I've always been a passionate outdoorsman and a gearhead. I'm that guy that always tweaks stuff in his own garage and is customizing his own equipment and just
always
kind of
making it fit your
exactly.
needs. Yeah.
And I figured since I got a knack for this one, and I start making stuff for other people, so that's kind of how I got into the outdoor space. And then Coleman was just a really natural fit for me because they have so many businesses going after the sports that I love to pursue. So
yeah, very innovative company too. Yeah. So your coolers, if somebody wants to get one of these suckers, other than me winning the last one today, how can somebody go get one of these?
That's an excellent question. So we've got coolers.
Did you hear that? Me winning the one?
Planting the seed, exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
So we have the Esky series in small independent sporting goods retailers across the country right now. We're really trying to build up that independent base to provide a kind of a launch pad for us. You can find our coolers in some of the big national retailers. We're in Cabela's. We're in many Sportsman's Warehouse stores. We're in the Field and Stream stores from Dick's on the East Coast, as well as a handful of Bass Pro Shops as well. You can always go to EskySeriesCoolers.com and order online.
There you go.
And yeah,
simple way to do it right there.
Yeah, exactly.
And you guys ship right to your door?
Yep,
I'm
exactly.
Sure.
Ship it right to you.
Very cool.
The website is EskySeriesCoolers.com.
And Facebook,
yep,
Instagram,
we got a
you
Facebook
guys, all the
page.
social media?
Yep, absolutely. Got a big social media presence, and that's I believe the Facebook page is Esky Coolers.
Okay. Just type in Esky Coolers in the search there.
Exactly. You'll find us.
Guys, AR500, how can people get in touch with you guys?
Website ar500.com, and we have quite a bit of things on YouTube if you want to watch test videos and product demos, and Facebook AR500 Armor. We're pretty active on social media, so it's pretty easy to get in touch with us and share your thoughts.
There you go. So I gotta ask you one of our standard questions that we ask new guests. We've got like a whole list, but I'm not going to be able to go through all of them. I'll start with you guys. When it comes to pop culture, what is your go-to, whether it be a movie, a TV show, a book, a magazine, a song? What's your go-to that's firearms related?
For me, it's YouTube and honestly all the channels. All the channels.
There you go.
I mean, you have some big YouTube channels that are really doing great things for the Second Amendment industry and getting new people into firearms, and I think that's what's going to help keep it alive. And
yeah. Now, can I pin you down and say what's your favorite YouTube channel?
We work with a lot of them. So
we're close with a lot of them.
I figured you'd dance around that.
Collectively as a whole, it seems like everybody works cohesively, and that's making it successful, I think.
Yeah.
So.
What about you, Daniel?
Pretty much same thing.
Come on, give me a different answer, dude. Come on.
It's true. It helps us get ideas by watching them do reviews on other products and stuff like that. It helps us develop our products better.
So there's not like a Clint Eastwood movie or something like that.
I like the new movies like American Sniper and Troy. Of course, I go see those, but on day to day, it's really.
So you don't have like a go to that you just is like if rainy day, you pop it in.
Not really.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I guess if I chose any of the movies, it'd probably be Black Hawk Down. That was one of the first ones that really got me, and
that's one you could watch over and over.
I always watch that one over and over. Yeah.
Cool. Todd?
Mine's a classic from way back, but the go-to movie I've got firearms related has got to be Tombstone.
Tombstone, there you go.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep.
That's a classic. I love that one. All right, I'm going to ask you one more. Bucket list, your firearm or gear. Your next bucket list, firearm or gear. Price be damned. Government laws, rules be damned. What would you have?
That's an easy one. Desert Tech Armament, the Covert, the new SR with a 338 the pool barrel and a 3 mag barrel conversion. That is on the bucket list.
Nice. What kind of glass would you throw on top of that?
I'm kind of in between U.S. Optics and Schmidt Bender. That's kind of where I want to be.
Okay.
If you're going to do it,
price be damned, throw it on there, dude.
Throw it on there. So.
Yeah, this is Christmas, so.
Yep.
Daniel, what about you?
Mine's probably the MP7. It's a unique gun, and it's small and compact, but then it folds out into this.
Dude,
nice
you can have anything in the world that you want. You're going with MP7?
I'm a huge bullpup fan.
Yeah,
I love the Tavor, but we have that, and
yeah, you already got one of those.
Yeah, it's tough. We have quite a collection that we test our armor against.
Sure.
So that's one gun that I will never actually have.
And if you guys could stop a 338 Lapua,
we can at 400 yards.
Yeah.
It's distance dependent.
Yeah, right. So. Exactly. Todd?
Yeah, mine's not that. Mine's a little bit more simple. I got a new AR on the way.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
What do you got?
I got a Bushmaster coming.
Cool.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to
you gonna trick it out.
To tricking it out. Exactly.
Yeah. So you were talking about all the accessories.
Yeah, exactly.
So you've been eyeing some accessories
stuff. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure what that'll end up looking like once I get a chance to start tweaking with it. But yeah, it's going to be fun to.
You need to send me some progressive pictures as it morphs.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me see that.
Exactly. Hopefully.
So you're getting that. So that's not your bucket list. So what's something?
Yeah, the one I have in mind. Unfortunately, I don't know the name of it. I've shot it's a buddy of mine's. It's a 308. Mm-hmm. I believe it's the primary
arm
rifle of one of the European Special Forces. I'm not exactly sure of the model, but
is it a bolt gun? Or semi-auto?
No, semi-auto.
Okay.
It's like a tan color. It might be the one that. Unfortunately, I just don't know the model number, but man, I love it. It's similar. It's got the spring recoil, but yeah, with the 308 round, that thing is so much fun to shoot.
Nice.
It's just
you could load up a cooler with some game with one of those.
Exactly.
Heck yeah. Well, guys, we appreciate you being on the show, helping us celebrate our 100th episode here at the 2015 SHOT Show. Thanks for coming in. One more time, give everybody your websites.
You can visit us at ar500.com, and thanks for having us on. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Anytime. You guys are welcome anytime.
Thank you. And just in case you don't know, body armor is legal for civilians. So
absolutely.
Don't know out there still. It is legal.
It's state dependent, though, right?
The only state that we can't ship to is Connecticut. All transactions must be done face-to-face.
Yeah.
Anywhere else, even California, where it's good.
There you go. There's no excuse now.
You can reach us at ESKYSeriesCoolers.com. Again, congratulations on your 100th show.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for inviting us on. It was really a pleasure to speak with you guys.
Anytime, guys. You're always welcome, and good luck with the rest of the show.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right. So that was a fun interview with those guys. I had fun making the connection with the coolers and the body armor. So hopefully, I've not seen it out yet, but hopefully we're going to see some armor-plated coolers coming out in the future.
Awesome. I want one. I want to be on the launch list for that because I need a cooler and I need one.
Well, as I told them in the interview there, the first one has to be called, the left hand. That's the name of the first fully armored cooler.
Awesome.
Well, guys, it's been a great show. I appreciate you guys being on with us. Senior, I know you're a busy man. I appreciate you sticking with us the whole time here. Now, give us an example of some of the accessories that you put on your Kel-Tec KSG.
Roger that. So on our Kel-Tec KSGs, we use the Magpul vertical grip at the front. We're a big proponent of the Vortex optics. Love those a lot. We'll either use the red dot with a 3 MOA or a 6 MOA. Vortex is really an optic over the last several years that has come out of the woodworks and have caught our attention. Love the glass on it. We're using the VTAC slings on ours primarily so I can, it's like a little bungee sling that I can tie up to my body when I'm searching an inmate or punch it out and still not have to worry too much about it. Whatever accessories you put on your KSG or a bullpup system, you really have to know it really well or you can get hurt. You can hurt yourself. And the one thing about the bullpup, and everybody who gets a bullpup is just amazed at how many rounds you can put in these bad boys. 14 plus 1, So it's almost like a nice 1 pound of lead that you can send down range pretty quickly. And I tell people we send violence down range, and we try to stop it. So
I actually have a question about that for you guys. Have you guys use when you guys are using lethal ammo and you're using slugs, correct?
We are.
Are you using full size 3-inch slugs, or are you using 2 3/4, or have you guys in the really close situations, do you guys potentially use the 1 3/4 because you can really increase your capacity there?
You can. You can do that. So we'll use a lot of 2 3/4. We'll use some some full 3-inch. It really depends on the round and the mission. So a lot of our guys, depending on the mission, 9 times I tend to use the 2 3/4. We use the Magnum slugs. We like Hornby, or we like the what they call OC ammo. That I'm not sure if you guys have heard of that ammo. There's another company called Freedom Ammo. Starting to play with some different things, but the biggest thing with us is we use a lot of frangible ammo. For us within our environments. We never mix lethal and less lethal. So like lethal in the left magazine tube, less lethal in the right. Despite you hear some of the rumors, we would never do that. It's just really a reckless thing to do.
However, that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up.
However, what you can do, depending on the ammo that you're going to run in your house for a home defense, I would give my wife, and actually, matter of fact, she has a KSG in the house for home defense. It's just a simple weapon to use. Clean, 26.1 inches long. The great thing about a bullpup, for us is just basically that economy of time, space, and motion. And, the one thing I'll tell you, every operator out there or every civilian user, frickin' manhandle that bullpup. Don't gently, slide it back. Take the full 6 inches and frickin' rack it back hard, dude.
Take the full 6 inches like a man. Come on.
Yeah, don't be a pussy.
I didn't want to go there, man. Yeah.
Oh, I have to. It wouldn't be talking lead if I didn't.
Yeah. So, the bottom line is what I tell you, and you'll see in some of my videos, I yell at these guys, man, you can get aggressive and act like you want to be here. When you're using the weapon, and it's so easy to short stroke any bullpup system. But I'll tell you what,
any shotgun is easy when you're in the moment.
Yeah. Okay. So take any of I get a lot of flack from guys who are saying, I can't believe a level 1 team like yours is using a bullpup versus a traditional Mossberg or a Remington 870. And I ignore that because a lot of these guys have no idea.
Exactly. And that gets into our point. Is like they start criticizing and berating when they don't know. They don't understand.
Dude, the funniest thing happened about maybe 6 months ago. I was in a class, and this guy was telling me, oh, yeah, I've used the FN 2000. I've used this, and I've used that. And you have to watch the muzzle rise. And so about partway through, I'm saying, dude, does your agency allow you to have all these guns? He goes, oh, no. I'm talking about in Call of Duty, there's not a lot of muzzle rise when I'm using it.
Oh, my God.
We were laughing so hard because it's a wannabe cowboy, man. I'm like, dude, are you crazy, man?
Oh, my gosh. I'm talking about Call of Duty.
So I want to tell all guys who are listening to you, between you guys, you have hundreds of thousands, literally hundreds of thousands of listeners. The bullpup system we use, just grab any 590, any Mossberg. They're the workhorse of shotguns. Yes, they're amazing. And yes, they can be short stroke. And the bullpup system is a new platform. It does require some calibration, meaning loading, unloading. If you do have a short stroke, a double P, you got to be really careful with that. So yes,
somebody's dragon just entered the room. Holy crap!
Yeah, that was my dragon of one of my dogs, man. So I got Kane. That's Max sitting up next to a cage. So I apologize about that.
I was waiting for Max to make an appearance. Hey, Max, who's a good boy?
So if you're going to go to a new weapon platform, take the frickin' time and learn it really well. But I will tell you this. I don't care what anybody says. Until you come into the world where there's 2.3 million violent inmates who walk around the most violent, perverted, murderous individuals in the United States, penal system, and you guys can take that a different direction some other time. But when you come into this environment and you walk behind those walls and you go through those doors and that steel shuts behind you, my man, real quick, you're going to learn real quick that you are outnumbered. And you better hope you have the best weapon platform, the best body armor and equipment. So to all the naysayers out there, have a nice day.
There you go. Now, another thing that comes into play with that is, you may have the best of all this, but if you're not in shape physically to be able to operate this stuff, then all that goes out the door too.
Yeah, we tell guys smooth is fast. I see guys out there, can I just say this real quick? I see guys out there doing some really interesting trick shooting. And I tell people, I am not a sports shooter. I am not a competition shooter. I'm not even a frickin' hunter. Unless you want to call it human hunting, okay? when the time is right. I'm a guy that with operators out there, man, when we go kinetic. When we fight asymmetrical. When it is pointed to us to go through that room, we better be freaking POD, man, performance on demand. So how does that translate to the civilian community that's maybe listening to this? Whatever gun you're using, great, man. I love it. I'm glad you selected the brand that you did. But practice, take your time, smooth is fast, and let me just say this politically correct. If you are not a gunslinger, or you don't.
Did you forget what show you're on?
What's that?
I said, did you forget what show you're on? There's no PC here, baby.
Okay. So I'm going to be politically correct. Just for
say it both ways. There you go. Yeah.
Roger that. And then I'll let you freaking interpret. If you're not a gunslinger and you don't belong to a special ops unit, you can criticize all you want. But until you come to our side, until you become on the other side of those brick walls, that concrete wall, and you stare inmates standing there with a shank and is going to cover that ground very quickly, then you can talk. Unless you've been stabbed, unless you've been involved in major riots involving hundreds of inmates, and you've been at 50 to 1, 100 to 1, then come and talk to me. Other than that, take your story walking, man. Enjoy your gun that you have. Play your Call of Duty. Go ahead and criticize people on the computer all you want, and then go back to doing what you do, whether that's a cashier, whether that's, sitting there living in your mom's house, whether that's, I don't care what it is, just enjoy the entertainment or enjoy the videos or these awesome podcasts out there, and leave the haterade in your own freaking, within your arm's reach. Don't throw stones from a glass house. You know what I mean? So
well said.
I'm going to tell you something else. This is what I tell the inmates. Okay, I say, my man, when I close the store, you can tell your friends what you should have done, what you would have done, what you could have done. But right now, you're going to do exactly what I tell you to do, and medical attention will be provided. How does that translate to the civilian community? It's this. Look, dude, on the computer, if you want to be a responsible individual that gets involved in social media, you know what? Shut your mouth, watch the video, and ask questions. Nobody knows who you are. Because the minute a lot of these people open their mouth and they start speaking hate, ignorance just pops out of them, man. It's like, dude, you're embarrassing your own self. For example, your shows, both you guys, your podcast. It's this media thing. Sometimes people eat their own. I don't know. But you guys run a very clean, informative shows on both your networks. And that's why I'm sitting here spending time with you guys. Because I see how you give a lot of respect and you tell the truth with a lot of the information that's out there. And if the information's inaccurate, you guys are the first to go back and say, hey, let me correct this. And so that's why I'm spending my time with you guys. Other than that, there's a lot of media outlets out there that I really don't want to touch with a 10-foot pole. So that's my kudos to you guys, man.
I appreciate that. And as our listeners know, is that we don't claim to be experts. We're always, as our friend Paul Markle says, we're always students of the gun. We're constantly learning. There's always something that we can bring to not only our own personal lives and how we treat or handle firearms, but that we can pass on to others. And I'm always, on this show, I'm always going to bring the experts in. I'm never going to be claim to be an expert on anything, because I'm not. I'm always wanting to learn, increase my knowledge, expand my horizons. And that's why I bring in people like Senior, people like Spectre to the show that have that expertise and can bring that and convey it to you guys, the listeners, the Leadhead Nation, if you will.
And you know how we become experts, man? We make enough freaking mistakes.
That's right.
That's the truth.
and we share it, dude. That's the bottom line. We share it. Like, people say, you're not fucking fast with that case. You have to be faster. Great, no problem, man. Do me a favor. Can you shoot that shotgun just as fast if I surround you around 50 inmates, and who 3 of them, who you don't know what direction they're coming from, are wanting to put a shank up your ass real quick just to take you down? Would you mind just?
And they're throwing their poo at you.
yeah. Would you demonstrate that wonderful technique that you just blogged about on how slow I am real quick? Because we have the experience, and we have the video documentation, we have the evidence to prove that it's not about how fast you are; it's how effective you can send violence downrange to stop the threat.
Let me ask you this: Are you taking on anybody who wants to challenge you on that speed and accuracy? Because not only are you fast, son, you are accurate.
Listen, let me just say this: with Kel-Tec, we're doing this Kel-Tec Kinetics thing coming out, and if we see you out there, dude, I would love to push somebody to the RPM. Let's bring it, dude. Let's have fun. Bring your weapons. The bullpup conventions are out there. I love that. Isn't that what it's all about, man? Isn't that exercising our rights? Let's talk a lot of trash, and then at the end of the day, let's throw it on a table. And if you beat me, man, fantastic, because maybe you have a technique, that you learned on Call of Duty that's better than mine. I'm kidding.
The gauntlet's been thrown down.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's have fun. I don't care. I'll throw some stuff, some flags, some Coast Lights or whatever. Sure, man. Let's have fun with your audience, dude.
Oh, absolutely.
If I'm there, like I'm going to be in Florida for a month. If there's a competition going on somewhere, I'd love to just shoot with you guys, and let's exercise our Second Amendment rights responsibly.
Absolutely, and all kidding aside, I know you've offered this to me, and I do want to take you up on it. I want to take some training from you, man. I want to get in on some of those courses that you're running, and I want to take part, whether it's just spectating or if you're going to let me get hands on. I'll jump in there and get dirty gritty with you.
Well, I'll tell you what, you and your compadre here from Spectre, man. We'll talk on secondary, but next school we have coming up, which is I'm busy 49 weeks out of the year. We'll let you train with one of our teams so that you can go back and without disclosing much, saying those guys can really shoot. And I tell our guys this. Okay, this is the last thing I'm going to tell you. I expect for our guys at random when we're training, when we're doing after operations, I'll challenge them. I'll lay the gauntlet down. It could be a mile run afterwards. I'll say, all right, pull out your weapons. Let's go ahead and we're going to do, and you set the challenge course up. Because at the end of the day, I want my operators to be better than me. That is my job as their senior. They got to be better, faster, quicker, because that's my job as a leader within my industry. And so you guys, by people listening to your podcast and watching what you guys do, they should be getting some good, reliable information that helps them become much more aware of their Second Amendment rights, much more aware of being, responsible citizens within this community, of, firearms, concealed carriers, or just responsible community members within their neighborhoods. So that if you get jackass out there saying, hey, there's a difference between somebody trying to be this neo-Nazi asshole collecting all this firearms for the wrong reasons, than those carrying their concealed weapons and enjoying the Second Amendment rights and, applying for different licenses to get different weapons, and then being able to exercise that by doing it in a responsible place. But being prepared is not wrong. It's actually a responsible thing as guardians of our families. You know what I mean? Hey, man, it's been great to be with you guys, dude. And I've really enjoyed this time. Check out our Facebook pages, and I'll leave it to your guys to put on your website, where we can be found at.
No, give it a shout out. I mean, you guys are on Facebook, you're on Instagram, you're on YouTube. You got your own YouTube.
Yeah, unlike you guys, you can rattle off all those social medias. That sounds like, another foreign language. When you guys say Tumblr, I'm like, well, I don't do gymnastics. When you say Instagram, I'm like, Instagram? Is that like a microwave thing that you put up there? So for the...
No, that's like you putting double op buck to a target. That's Instagram right there, baby.
Yeah, roger that. So go to Facebook and you can look up STL Joseph Garcia or our organization at US space C-SOG and give us a like out there. Don't forget, we appreciate everybody who's out there. We don't do my last little rant. Okay, let me just say this last little rant real quick. There are guys out there that will paint law enforcement with a broad stroking brush, calling us racist, neo-Nazis, whatever they want to broad stroke us for maybe one guy or a small group of people that maybe had made bad choices, a bad use of force decision, whatever it is. But wouldn't that same thing apply to one racial group or one specific group? If one member messes up, wouldn't that be stereotyping that group? So the only thing that I ask for everybody out there is, if you ever see a law enforcement guy mess up, hey, give that organization the great benefit of the doubt, because they're the ones who are there protecting, responding, answering calls. They're the ones who are there for the public community. And if you see a law enforcement officer and you see him in line, what I've been encouraging everybody within our community, particularly now that it seems like these Baltimore cops, I'm going to be at the National Sheriff's Convention. If I see a Baltimore cop in line and we're wherever we're at in a restaurant, I'm going to buy that guy a meal, man. It's just like everybody supports the military, and I really appreciate that. But our law enforcement guys out there work really hard, dude. You know, they see a lot of shit every day. You know, be nice to these guys, man. And I appreciate you guys. You guys are freaking awesome with your podcast. You're awesome with being responsible in the information that you give out there, cutting down rumors and telling the truth out there. So keep up the great work, both of you guys.
Well, I want to echo that real quick. The law enforcement is very much taken for granted in our society. I have lots of friends that are cops. We're actually going to be putting together an event in September. We're inviting the local law enforcement to attend. We have a good relationship with them because they keep us safe. And what a lot of people don't realize is, I'm gonna steal one from my buddy James here. Excuse me. If you think of life as an apartment building, the cops are the only people who ride the elevators, and they see from the top to the bottom every single day of their lives. They deal with a lot of shit. And, it's a high stress environment. There are going to be mess ups and, those people have to be held accountable. But by and large, most people in the law enforcement profession are extremely professional and they do their jobs very, very well. And, we have our civil law abiding society to thank them for sure.
Awesome. Great word there, man. That was really great. Except the part about, our life being an apartment where I come from. I've never lived in a house more than 2 stories. I'm kidding, man.
Well, I couldn't find the. I think I meant like a commercial building or something like that. I was trying to find the words.
Man.
Yeah. See, that's good. You see, this is a good situation because this is how we roll. Speaking of busting balls, I have a challenge out here right now that I'd love to see USC Solid and you left hand. I want to see you on this too. I put out a challenge yesterday.
Oh yeah. What is it?
Yeah. The 225 bench press challenge. You put 225 on the bench press rack, flat bench, max reps as many as you can do. I got 14 and a half. Some people credited me with the 15th rep. I don't consider it locked out, so it wasn't there. But the reason I'm doing this is to harken back what we were talking about earlier, which is physical fitness and awareness of your physical capabilities. We talk a lot about going out and get firearms training, going out and getting guns, exercising your Second Amendment rights, to get your body armor, all that sort of stuff. All of it is for naught if you cannot deal with a stressful situation, and be physically prepared to deal with that situation. In my personal life, a lot of people, that have been following me for a while know that I used to be a really, really heavy guy. I used to weigh like 280 pounds.
Holy crap.
I sit before you at 210 pounds right now. I don't want to call myself solid, but I consider myself fairly strong.
The word is
and
spelt.
If you
looking for there, buddy.
Spelt.
Yeah.
Spelt. If I track my experience with firearms and training and all that sort of stuff, I track it and compare it to what it used to be when I was not physically fit as compared to it as it is now, it is a completely different world. And I'm doing this to kind of draw attention to everybody out there in the firearms industry to get out there, get active, get as strong as you can, stay as strong as you can as long as you can.
So what's the actual challenge? So I've got to put 2 25s on each side.
No. 225 pounds.
Oh, 225 pounds.
Yes.
Dude, I don't even weigh 225 pounds.
Neither do I.
So it's to get as many reps with 225 unassisted as you can, right?
As you can, yes.
Okay.
Now can I use a Smith bar? Because I've got effed up
you
shoulders.
Cannot. That's like saying, can I do it on the moon?
Dude.
No.
What's the difference? Like, it's 225's 225. What's the difference?
No. Yeah, when it's got a spring attached to it. That's like doing 225 on the moon.
It's not even touching the spring. It's going to hit the chest. It's not going to touch the spring. It's going to come up.
Dude, I only have one question. I only have one question, man.
Shoot.
Is it one? Is it? Can I just do it with one arm? Is that okay? Would that count?
Oh, jeez. Here we go. Oh boy, here we go. See, this is what I want to see.
The trash talk starts. Here we go. Yes.
Okay, guys. So here, I'm going to tag on to what you just said, and I'm going to get off this bad boy.
Okay.
So what you're saying is that every individual that carries exercises their Second Amendment rights should be in physical shape. So I'm going to translate that to law enforcement. In law enforcement, or special operations for our guys, we say we want all of our operators to make a clean use of force decision and not one based out of self-preservation, meaning in civilian terms, the guy basically gets out of his chair, of his computer after playing Call of Duty. He has his concealed weapons permit. He sees a situation going down. He draws his weapon and starts to shoot, thinking he's exercising his Second Amendment rights. But because he doesn't take a time to really think about he goes from 0 to 100 miles an hour. Our guys operate at a clear, clean 80 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour. But they do that where if you can't breathe, you can't think. If you can't think, you're shooting for the hell of it. And so in the civilian community, that should translate to it is your responsibility of being able to take your weapon out. If you have to deploy it to save your life, the life of somebody else, or your family in that kind of environment. And a lot of guys out there can't do that without thinking, overreacting. We don't want people out there who's going to overreact. If you want to help law enforcement, if you want to be a member, an active member of your community that exercises their Second Amendment rights, then you should be in damn good shape, so that way you don't become a collateral damage or you mistakenly overreact and freaking kill a potential law enforcement officer out there whose badge is displayed, but you can't see it because you're caught up in tunnel vision. So I like what you're doing, man. I like that whole message about the challenge for anybody carrying a weapon out there should be in good shape. That's a great idea, actually.
And just in general, people need to be in good shape. I mean, you feel better, you think clear. Even if you didn't, for some reason you couldn't get to your firearm, you still need to be physically fit to be able to defend yourself with your fisticuffs if you have to.
Dude,
but or run, flee, get the hell out of there.
Absolutely, dude. There's nothing wrong in it.
There's no shame in living.
Yeah, roger that. Exactly. The misconception that because I carry a concealed weapon, I'm looking for an excuse to pull it out and shoot somebody is something that a lot of people need to realize. Why are you carrying a concealed weapon? And for me, it's about personal protection. It's about protecting my family. That's basically it. Exercising my Second Amendment rights. Point that gun at me, I'm going to drop you. I'm going to drop you real quick. Point that gun at somebody, some defenseless individual, absolutely, I'm going to drop you. But other than that, I'm not the first one to this gunfight, saying, I've got a gun, I'm here to shoot. No, that's not in my textbook.
And knowing when and how to do that comes into training. Go get training, seek out local experts in your area. We've got a whole plethora associated with our show that we can hook you up with. But train, learn. Great stuff there from Senior. I didn't give you the specs on him. He's current Special Operations Commander for Major Sheriff's Office and has been in LE for over 2 decades. He's the first to use the bullpup shotgun in the U.S., and since that time, he has the most operational experience with it over the past 4 years. He developed the Kel-Tec KSG Combat Shotgun Program for LE Special Ops teams, and he's worked with Corrections Special Ops units all over the world. So check those guys out at USCSOG. You just Google them. They've got a website, Facebook. You'll find them. Spectre, man, great month. Appreciate you being on. I know it was a short month for us. We only got 3 shows in. Typically, we'll do 4. But, man, you were awesome.
Well, I appreciate you having me on. And I wanted to go back to Senior real quick. It's been a privilege to be on the show with him. Just being in a conversation with someone like that, you just absorb knowledge. It's by almost like osmosis. It's coming over to me, and I'm getting it, and I'm really just learning just from being on a video call with him. So,
well, that's the goal of the show is to have individuals like Senior Team Leader Garcia on and spread his knowledge, share his knowledge with us and our listeners. So
I sincerely hope that your listeners are getting that same sort of thing that I'm getting.
I'm sure the lead heads are, no doubt. Yeah. And so I've got a video this bench press thing. Is that what you're saying? Do I have to actually video it? I saw a video, and then I send out challenges at the end of it to people, and then it's kind of like you're trying to start what is it called? Make it viral?
Yeah, make it viral. I called out Jordan Winkler and James Yeager of Tactical Response.
Okay.
And hopefully they'll do it. I know that Jordan's actually injured right now. I didn't realize that when I made the challenge. He actually just made a post on his social media about that. So hopefully
he's hurt his wrist. So Spectre, you and I got a couple other things that we're working on. We want to remind the viewers. We've got the AK torture test collaboration that we're working on. Go to the what's it called where they can give us money?
We have a Patreon account over at Patreon/VSO Gun Channel. You guys can donate directly to help support the test. It is going to be occurring sometime in September. Hopefully you guys should see it coming out sometime in October, November. And it's going to be a good time. We've got multiple guns that are coming in. We're going to do some seriously awesome testing. It's going to be a lot of fun. and there's going to be a lot of collaboration going on there. It's
definitely going to be a good time. So that's in September. We just recently got another invite to an event coming up in July, up in your neck of the woods with our buddies over at Asymmetric. They're going to be having, and this isn't a public thing, but we've been invited, so we'll be there. We'll be able to bring some sort of coverage back for you guys. They've got some drones. I understand they're going to be there. Some full auto machine guns. So it's going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah, including, if I got it correctly, I know that there will be an M16 there. I know that there will be a Thompson submachine gun, and I do know that there will be a BAR there. And that is one that I definitely want to get my hands on. I definitely want to shoot the BAR.
The badass rifle.
Yeah. Man.
Absolutely. Well, Spectre, again, thanks so much. Everybody check him out at the VSO Gun Channel, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the social media places. And as always, leadheads, keep your loved ones close.
And your guns closer.
No, you're supposed to do like a special.
I know. I forgot. I didn't do my homework.
You've had 2 hours to think about this. Come on now.
Yeah, I know. I failed. And your supplements and guns.
There you go.
Your,
how about tie in
take your creatine? Take your creatine and load your magazine.
Take your creatine before you load your magazine.
I don't know, dude. I'm sorry. I failed.
And remember to stop, drop, and roll. Just something crazy.
All right. Cool.
All right. And as always, leadheads, keep your loved ones close.
And don't forget to stop, drop, and roll. You got it. Giggity, giggity.
Okay. And as always, leadheads, keep your loved ones close.
And don't forget to pound your creatine before you load your magazines. Giggity, giggity.
Giggity, giggity.